11 habits that make people dislike you immediately. In today's world where the use of social media is being highly utilized, it's not hard to make someone dislike you, whether you're interacting online or in real life. We all know that humans are social beings. Scientists are still trying to figure out what exactly that draws people to each other. It's just a matter of seconds to make someone want to spend time with you or hate you for the rest of their lives. And in those precious few seconds, everything matters, from the way you look to the things you say. In many social situations, making a good impression is a stepping stone for closing deals, winning friends, building connections, and forming better relationships. It's really important to know if some of your behaviors are bringing people in, or totally turning them off. Check out this 11 various that makes people dislike you immediately, both online and in person. 1. Interrogating. To ask too many questions or to seek answers or information that the person being questioned considers personal or secret just to control the conversation is a way too off. Communicating and keeping yourself interested in the person seems a good way, but it turns out too much of this without any input from you will likely backfire. It all comes down to a careful balance. Research in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology found that people dislike you when you don't reciprocate their opening up with some spilling of your own. In the study, participants who had more of a back-and-forth conversation liked each other much better than those where one person controlled the conversation. 2. Humblebragging. Humblebragging is a term used for ostensibly modest or self-deprecating statement which basically means that you turn one of your strengths into a weakness, like working too hard, or being a perfectionist. In a Harvard Business School study, researchers found that employers were turned off when someone answered the question, "What is your biggest weakness?" using humblebragging, such as being a perfectionist or working too hard. Research has shown that possible employers don't like this, and it can come across as someone who cannot be frank or direct. If you get asked what your weaknesses are in an interview, call a spade a spade. 3. Suppressing your emotions. Research suggests that letting your real feelings come through is a better strategy for getting people to like you than bottling it all up. Honesty sets an example that invites others to imitate. When others respond with honesty, it can create more interpersonal closeness and authenticity. On the other hand, hiding your emotions and not being honest with what you really feel makes people think that you are a plastic person and will shove people away. If honesty becomes an unconscious habit, you will become very attractive to other honest people. A life filled with authentic people is vastly enriched. 4. Weak handshake. For sure any one of us have been greeted with a handshake already. It turns out people that give weak handshakes appear less likable and more anxious than those who give firm handshakes. A research from University of Alabama study, participants who rated handshakes of undergraduates believed those with weaker handshakes were less positive, likable, and more socially anxious. 5. Talking too much. One of the reasons why people talk too much is to attract others to themselves. They talk about all their achievements, their past records, where they have been to, how much they're worth and what they possess. A talkative loses his respect when he talks more than he or she knows. Talking too much inspires boasting, which shove away people and makes people want to avoid you. 6. Sweating. Sweating is an insensible factor that can influence the way people think about you. Studies says that 75% of those with excessive sweating say the condition has had negative impacts on their social life, sense of well-being, and emotional and mental health. Stress-induced sweat smells different and deters people. If you can't hide it, at least use some antiperspirant. 7. Gossiping. Once a gossip, always a gossip, is a phrase you often hear about a person who is known to spread anything from news, facts, or rumors about others. While we might not necessarily mean to be harmful, but there are some bad effects of gossip we all should know. Overhearing something that someone said and then spreading it. Or disliking a person so much you hope to bring them down by making them look bad in the eyes of other people. When people start talking badly about someone else, it tears down their self-esteem and then causes hatred and malice, breaking apart friendship bit by bit or even more than what we think. 8. Acting too nice. While being the nicest person on earth and more altruistic you may seem can make more people like you, science suggests otherwise. Researchers at Washington State University and the Desert Research Institute had college students play a computer game with 4 other players, who were really manipulations by the researchers. Participants were placed in a 5-person group, but did not see its other members. Each was given institution that they could in their turn choose to keep or return, in whole or in part. There was some incentive to maximize one's holdings, but not an obvious one. Some of the fake participants would give up lots of points and only take a few vouchers. As it turns out, most participants said they wouldn't want to work with their unselfish teammate again. Some participants said the unselfish teammate made them look bad, others suspected they had ulterior motives. The real-world implication here is that you don't want to be the coworker who always agrees to get cheese from the meeting or fix the printer when it's jammed. Instead, it's okay to say no sometimes, as long as you explain why you can't commit. 9. Posting a close-up profile photo. The profile picture provides both open and hidden hints. Classed as open are the messages that you deliberately chose to communicate in the picture. Research suggests that faces photographed from just 45 centimeters, about 1.5 feet, away are considered less trustworthy, attractive, and competent than faces photographed from 135 centimeters, about 4.5 feet, away. A study published in Psychological Science in June 2014 found that even small changes in the same person's picture might result in a dramatically different impression, with an instance glance, showing us a person we would like to spend time with or a person we unconsciously find repellent. 10. Sending friend requests to people you don't really know personally. A lot of folks are getting odd friend requests on Facebook. People from all over the world, who you don't know, are asking to be your friend. For most of us, there are a few hundred people in our friends list, and by now we've all added nearly everyone we know or even knew. So why accept any friend requests from people we don't know? It's one of the most dangerous things you can do on Facebook or other social platforms. Strangers as friends is simply not a good idea for several reasons, and sending friend requests to people you never met or talked to will make you look creepy and annoying. They might even think you are a hacker trying to steal his or her account. 11. Using too much emoji. People are too obsessed with emojis nowadays. In fact, the language of emojis is evolving faster than any other ancient form of communication, including hieroglyphics. The thing is that it is meant to be social and not professional. They are not supposed to be used in real life or at work, which will make you look too immature and rude. Netherlands and Israel studies found that including emojis in an email make you appear less competent. To make things worse, it didn't appear to have any noticeable positive effect to counterbalance it, such as making you appear nicer. Quick tip: want to be more likable? Use the mere exposure effect to start a conversation with strangers. According to the mere exposure effect, people tend to like other people who are familiar to them. To form better relationships with strangers faster, uses the mirroring strategy, subtly mimicking another person's behavior, body language, gestures, and facial expressions. Mirroring is about being in tune with other people. Do you think you have these habits? What are you going to do to change things? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and hit that bell button to continually get updates from our channel.